This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. First at 7, COVID-19 testing is crucial for identifying and treating people who are infected with the virus.
The state says more than 43,000 tests have been administered, but some say the testing process is more confusing than they expected. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny is working for you, looking into those concerns and explains what you can do if you run into roadblocks.
Carrie Banfield has asthma and other underlying health conditions, so she decided to get a COVID-19 test at this Walmart on US 31 on Indy's south side. The site canceled her June 1st appointment, so she rescheduled to June 8th. Karen says she swabbed her nose, gave them the sample, and went on her way. She expected an email about her results in 3 to 5 days, as her paperwork showed. As the days passed, Carrie did not get an email. She checked her spam, no email. She called customer service and left a message. As she reached day 11 with no results, Carrie reached out to Call 6 Investigates about the delay.
I don't know, maybe I'm a fluke, maybe it didn't, maybe mine just got messed up, but I thought somebody needs to check into it because it's not, it's not okay. I know elder people that don't really use the computer, aren't very computer savvy. So if I'm having difficulties, I can imagine what they're going through.
We reached out to the provider eTrue North, who told us Karen's specimen was posted to her account on June 9th, the day after her test. All of our testing participants receive an email notification when results are available for their review. At that time, the participant logs back into the website to review their results and print a report. We shared this information with Carrie, who says she never did get an email, but after several tries, she was able to log into the testing website to get her results. Carrie tested negative for COVID-19. If you don't get an email about your results, try registering and logging on through the provider's website, doineedacovid19test.com. You can try calling their customer service number, 1-800-317-1789, and their email is covid19@etruenorth.com. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And now to the latest on the toll the pandemic is taking on Hoosier lives. The State Department of Health says 2,394 people in Indiana have died from COVID-19. More than 43,000 have been diagnosed with the virus, and more than 444,000 people have been tested, with 9.8% testing positive.
Just a day after superintendents in Marion County Public Schools announced plans to start classes on time, school leaders in Hamilton County did the same. Public and private schools in Hamilton County issued a joint statement saying they will follow previously scheduled calendars and start on the regularly scheduled start days. They will also provide online and face-to-face learning options. Each district will share additional details in the coming weeks. The statement was issued on behalf of Carmel Clay, Hamilton Heights, Hamilton Southeastern, Noblesville Schools, Options Charter Schools, Sheridan Community Schools, St. Theodore Garrett High School, and Westfield Washington School.
Even as businesses continue to open back up across Indiana, more people are finding themselves out of work. The number of Hoosiers filing for unemployment is on the rise once again. The newest numbers just out from the Department of Labor show that almost 32,000 people in Indiana filed first-time claims for unemployment for the most recent week ending June 20th. That is an increase of more than 7,000 from the previous week. It's also more than 8 times the number of unemployment claims that were typically filed in a week before the COVID-19 pandemic.
RTV6 is working for you and getting results. 1 year ago, a veteran who is disabled reached out to RTV6 asking for help. His home had major structural and health code issues and was about to be condemned. But our Stephanie Wade connected him with the help he needed, and he's about to receive the gift of a lifetime.
Helping Heroes of America never gave up. They kept their promise of helping this veteran after we called them 1 year ago, presenting his new home to him today.
Man, this is nice.
What do you think?
It's a whole lot different.
This home renovation reveal is 1 year in the making. Last June, we introduced you to Kevin Grieve. Grieve is a disabled veteran who served in the Army and National Guard. He was diagnosed with congestive heart failure and struggled to take care of his home to the point the health department had to get involved. He called RTV6 for help, and we searched for veteran outreach groups. We came across Helping Heroes of America, a local group that helps vets with yard work and home repairs. Once a year, they take on a big project for one lucky veteran, and they chose him.
We took it all the way down to the studs. We replaced everything from the floors to the walls to the counters to the windows.
They renovated and remodeled Grieve's home at no cost to the veteran. Grieve grateful than ever.
They come together to help me, and I appreciate that. It's just that's a good thing about Hoosiers is we help each other out.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Temperature story today all the way up into the mid-80s without much humidity. That's the key. If you look into southern Indiana, Evansville's high temperature 88. That's setting the stage for the warm-up and the warmest temperatures that will arrive during the day tomorrow. The veil of clouds that we had that developed through the afternoon did produce some showers around Lafayette. That's really about it. Clouds tonight will gradually fade away as the sun sets, and any isolated shower that may pop up will also fade away once we lose the heating. I want to show you thunderstorms likely this weekend. I'm sure you've heard that as we've talked about it the last several days. We'll get more into the timing of thunderstorms when I come back for the main weather. 79 in Greenfield, 84 in Martinsville. Statewide temperatures right now 3 degrees cooler from the high in Evansville. It's in the 70s barely in Gary, Indiana, temperature at 79. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we're dry. A couple of showers are possible during the morning into early afternoon, but I think what will happen is we'll really wait until late tomorrow night into Saturday for rain and thunderstorms to arrive for the first time. We'll talk about our second and third opportunity in just a little bit. A Delaware County Sheriff's deputy has made it his mission to end generational crime in his area by helping convicted felons get jobs after they pay their debt to society. RTV6's Kelsey Anderson has the story tonight from Muncie.
We're here at Midwest Metals, one of the companies that's partnered with Second Chance Dads. And so far in the last 4 years, they have hired 14 convicted felons, hoping of giving them a second chance. Kenny West started the program Second Chance Dads about 4 years ago when he realized generational crime was a problem in his neighborhood. He says young children were getting in a lot of trouble, and his question was, where are their fathers? His program, Second Chance Dads, is his hope to change the pattern from generational crime to generational career. He's partnering with several local companies like Midwest Metal to help convicted felons get jobs after paying their debt to society.
And I felt like, when a man feels like a man, he can provide for his family, that he would just take hold to that and be able to do things with his children.
West says in the last 4 years, they have helped more than 14 convicted felons find jobs. And the success rate of this program has been 100%. Their hope now is that more companies will get involved and give these men a second chance. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Right now, felons are the only class of people who aren't protected against discrimination in the workplace. We've got more information on how to get involved with Second Chance Dads on our website, theindychannel.com. Coming up here on RTV6, what to say and how to say it. Your kids are seeing and hearing so much about race relations these days. Up next, how you can help them sort it all out.
Plus, how the current dialogue on racial equality is prompting a change by the popular music group, the Dixie Chicks.
And own the adventure. This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
It's a conversation many parents have the luxury of shying away from, talking about race with their kids. But with protests for racial justice happening across the country and right here in central Indiana, children have questions that cannot be ignored. RTV6's Cornelia Socker spoke to a Hendricks County mom who is using her voice, experience, and community connections to help people educate themselves and their families.
Natalie Brake is a mom of 3 who's teaching her kids about race and its role in our society. She tells me other parents should be doing the same.
You see that child who's in the supermarket who will say, why does that person's skin not match mine? And instead of having an open, honest conversation with a child, we shush them.
Natalie, the chair for the Hendricks County Alliance for Diversity, says moments like that can be powerful lessons for kids.
So they learn that talking about race is something bad. And we would like to turn that conversation around to a positive thing.
At first glance, many people may wonder why Natalie, a white woman, is so passionate about this issue.
One of my children has autism. And so looking at it through his lens, for him particularly, there is no quiet voice sometimes, or there's no, topics that he doesn't always understand the social cues with.
Natalie can't ignore her son's questions.
When he meets someone new, he wants to know what color they call their skin. And he wants to know why they're so tall. And he wants to know why their hair is long or short.
She's had to talk to him about everything, which gives her a unique perspective when talking to and educating other people who look like her about race.
Even well-intended people can say things or do things that are racist in our society, and we need to own up to it.
The Alliance for Diversity teamed up with Childcare Answers to host Talking to Children About Race. Natalie says interest in these types of workshops has been overwhelming, something she likes to see in her community because it means people want to educate themselves, which in turn educates their children, helping make our world a better place.
So you can't expect your kids to have those conversations with you if you're not willing to have the conversation with them.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
The next workshop is scheduled on July 14th at 7 p.m. We'll put a link to register to the story on our website at theindychannel.com.
The Dixie Chicks are dropping the Dixie. The band has changed their name to just the Chicks. They say, quote, that the Chicks, they want to meet, we want to meet this moment. They made the announcement on their website today and updated all of their social media handles. They also released a new song called March. It's a tribute to protests for equality and social issues over the past decades. The song will be on the Chicks' first album in nearly 14 years. It is set to come out on July 17th. You'll recall the country band Lady Antebellum also changed their name. They'll be known now as Lady A, citing the word antebellum's association to slavery. We lived with COVID-19 for more than 3 months now, and now the U.S. government gets graded on its response to the pandemic.
Thunderstorms and humidity will play a starring role this weekend. We'll let you know what has a supporting role and get into the timing of thunderstorms as well.
Some people run in the best circles.
A new report finds widespread delays in the U.S. government's response to coronavirus. The Government Accountability Office report shows the government was not prepared to tackle coronavirus or deal with the subsequent economic crisis. According to the report, the U.S. fell short on everything from testing to ensuring hospitals and states had adequate supplies. It also looks closely at how agencies struggled to ensure that billions in stimulus dollars were paid out. The report criticizes the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on its testing data, which it says hurt the government's response. Disney is delaying the reopening of its parks and resorts in California. This comes just a week after a labor union wrote a letter saying it is too early to reopen Disneyland. Disney has not yet scheduled a date to reopen. The state of California won't issue protocols for reopening until after July 4th.
The company behind the Roundup weed killer is settling most of its current and possible future lawsuits for more than $10 billion. Bayer, which acquired the chemical giant Monsanto in 2018, made the announcement this week. It comes after years of litigation from cancer patients who claimed Roundup caused non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and that Monsanto failed to adequately warn consumers of the risk. Bayer says the settlement will close roughly 75% of the current Roundup litigation. However, it says the agreement contains no admission of liability or wrongdoing. Chuck E. Cheese is filing for bankruptcy protection. Less than half of its restaurants around the country are open right now. And it's speculated that fewer families are hosting parties and gatherings at the pizza chain, meaning there's less business. Chuck E. Cheese is currently negotiating with debt and leaseholders. Chuck E. Cheese's CEO calls the pandemic the most challenging event in the company's history.
All right, their strategy if you have some yard work this weekend, I'd get the lawn mowed before the weekend. That'll give you the best chance of being frustrated if you get a downpour at the wrong time on Saturday or Sunday. Our rain chances through tomorrow stay very low, but they climb big time as we go to the weekend. Again, although I'm harping on thunderstorms likely, it won't be an all-day rain Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. When you get around to thunderstorms, that kind of influences the next round, so I think we'll end up with some dry hours. Chance of thunderstorms during the day tomorrow, 20%. They'll go up late tomorrow night, 90 for the high with more humidity. It will be very humid as we step into the weekend. Saturday, 85, those scattered thunderstorms. As you look at Sunday, 84 degrees. Temperatures are cooler than tomorrow because of more cloud cover and periodic thunderstorms. As far as the humidity level, it climbs tomorrow, and once it reaches what you call very humid conditions, almost tropical feel, it will stay there right on through the middle of next week. Temperatures will also be stuck in the middle to upper 80s. First thing in the morning, 70 degrees quickly by 8 a.m. An isolated thunderstorm possible in the morning as the warm front lifts north. That will open the door to the very humid air, and warmer temperatures will hit 90, and the wind out of the southwest will grab hold of the warmer air that sits just outside the state and draws it in. 92 in Terre Haute and Lafayette tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, just about everybody close to the 90-degree mark. I'm jumping to 11 o'clock tomorrow night. A frontal boundary will sit to the north, and it will drop south during the overnight, sparking thunderstorms. Some of these may have some gusty winds, certainly some heavy rainfall, but you see the coverage is still spotty. First thing in the morning on Saturday, there are some morning showers and thunderstorms. Those will fade away. Then we'll see redevelopment of additional thunderstorms later in the day. The marginal or low risk for severe storms is for late tomorrow night into early Saturday. Saturday temperatures, again, cooler, especially to the north, lower to middle 80s. Compare that to the 90 that we expect tomorrow, and we get a little relief, but the trade-off is more humidity and the thunderstorms around. We'll pick up the timeline again in the afternoon Saturday. 1 to 7 more thunderstorms develop. 7 to 11, widespread showers, thunderstorms, some with heavy rainfall, some gusty winds. As you look at early next week, temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday amazingly consistent at 87. What happens, our rain chance will slowly come down. 7-day forecast over the next 7 days. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s and with frequent chances for thunderstorms. These overnight temperatures really don't cool off. They'll stay in the upper 60s to lower 70s. The most likely time for rain appears to be Saturday through Monday with those periods of thunderstorms, and then a decreasing chance as we get into the middle of next week.
Big money at Menards.
More cancellations tied to the ongoing pandemic. The NFL has canceled its annual Hall of Fame game. The report says the league is also postponing this year's Hall of Fame induction ceremony that was scheduled for August 8th. The Hall of Fame class of 2020 includes former Colts running back Edgerrin James. They will now be inducted sometime in 2021. NASA has released a breathtaking new time-lapse video that lets you safely stare at 10 years of sun with no damage to your eyes.
Yeah, Amanda, the video crams 10 years of high-def activity like solar eruptions and planetary transits into one breathtaking hour of video. NASA says the data collected from the decade-long project enabled countless discoveries about the sun's influences on the solar system. What you're looking at now is only about a month and a half of activity. But if you want to stare at all 10 years, the full video is online.
How about that? 10 years into, what do you say, 1 hour, something like that? With the Saharan dust, if you were watching World News with David Muir, they were talking about that. All indications are along the Gulf Coast now, but it will stay mainly south of the Ohio River. So as we go into the weekend, we'll have a minimal impact on the Hoosier State the way we see it now. Bigger impact will be thunderstorms.
Well, thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. Have a great evening.